He's Bill Ryder, and he's Ryder than you.
The program Ryder than you, sometimes.
He's a fan.
I love sports so much.
He's in your face.
I will destroy those obnoxiously arrogant, clueless, tone-deaf superstars who are marginal players, good players, who made careers, who think they're Hall of Famers. I promise, we're nice here.
He's humble.
I think I'm pretty good if you're on the show about admitting if I got it wrong.
Live from Los Angeles, here's Bill Ryder.
All right, BillRyder.substack.com. You can listen, of course, on Apple or Spotify if that's how you're doing it. Thank you. If that's your comfort zone, we appreciate you. There are ads on there. This is an ad-free experience. BillRyder.substack.com for all the content, for the paid pods, the free pods, no ads, and the video component. Normally, in the opening that we just played, I would just put myself up in a little box. But you've all been wondering where the hell Pretty Daddy is. Is he gone? Did he go on a 5-week vacation? Has he been arrested? Has he been taken hot? Is he in Mel Gibson's? Was it called Hostage? It's not called Hostage. It's called Hostage 2, the great movie with the guy Gary Sinise, and he kills his girlfriend. Like, spoiler alert, Gary Sinise the bad guy. Hello, Pretty Daddy, you're back, baby.
I'm back, baby. I'm back. What's going on?
Living the dream. Everything's great. I got a new job, as you know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very excited. Very excited. This show will continue. We're still making the magic happen. How are you been?
I'm great. I mean, it's really probably been like a month since I've been on the pod. I've been waiting on that invite. Been waiting on that.
I mean, that's not so. By the way, I appreciate all the return phone calls. It's great to talk to you all the time. You know, and the text messages back. It is amazing you have friends. That was a terribly mean thing to say. You know what?
I got that one guy, that one friend.
Yeah. Stu's out, buddy. I don't know if you know this. Stu's out on you. Stu's mad at you too. Okay. So I sort of lean into this cliche a little bit, but I think it's real. I think that there is absolutely a process by which teams have to learn to be champions. I mean, the Thunder they're on the verge of, they're certainly about to be in the conference finals. They're the favorites to win their second consecutive NBA championship. They obviously won last year. The year before that, they lost second round of the playoffs. I mean, I can't remember who it was. I think Denver. It's a process. When the Warriors were sort of building their dynasty, it was a process. When the Bulls, when MJ and maybe the greatest team we've ever seen were building their team, they had to lose to the Pistons a couple times before they kind of figured it out. The Pistons had to lose to the Celtics. There is a way by which, through pain and difficulty and stress, that you have to realize and learn as a team and as a superstar or key players on those teams how to win in the postseason. And if there was a team that was going to skip that, maybe get around it, maybe win earlier than they should be, for me, it would be the San Antonio Spurs. They're ahead of schedule now. They're obviously, I think, the second best team in the NBA. Certainly, maybe based on the Knicks form, you could say top 3. And yesterday, over the weekend, in the loss, it was yesterday, right? Dude, I'm totally turned around. Like, days of the week, what turns out working for a living is harder than just playing tennis all day and drinking margaritas at noon. Wow. Victor Wembanyama and that team lost. The series is knotted at 2-2. They're still huge favorites, by the way. Timberwolves are still, which I think is kind of shocking, almost 4-1 to advance, even though the series is tied. Victor Wembanyama, though, I think the big takeaway is the elbow to the face of Naz Reid, and it's not something you should do. He was distraught after it happened. He was sort of seen on the side of what happens now. It's up to the NBA whether or not they want to suspend him for another game. A punch is an automatic one-game suspension. An elbow is up to the league, which is to say he's almost certainly going to play. Vegas odds say that, and just you don't want to take Wembanyama out of a series if you're the Spurs. For me, Tom, the bigger issue is this guy Wembanyama wants to win so badly. I love it, by the way. I don't want him elbowing people in the face, but he wants to win so badly. He has talked smack about all-time greats, where he's basically, I want to be the best of all time. Smack is strong. He just doesn't have any humility when it comes to the other stars. Like, no, I'm going to be a star, and I'm going to be great, and I want to win. That need, that desire, that passion means that San Antonio played more than half of a basketball game that was critical without their best player and the emotional deflation of the guy leaving. I love the Spurs. I love Wembanyama. This, to me, is one of those learning curve things, and if they lose a series, it's because Wembanyama missed this game.
I'm with you. I find it easy to root for the Spurs, mainly because I find it easy to root for Wembanyama. And here's where I struggled last night. I think it was absolutely the right call that he was ejected, that was, to me, a flagrant 2 foul that was above and beyond. And what I didn't love in the moment, because as you pointed out, like this is all a learning curve for the Spurs and mainly Wemby, because they're going to go as Wemby goes. We saw he missed, I think it was just one game in the first round against the Blazers with the concussion.
Yep.
And look, it was the Blazers. It was the first round. They were still able to win without him. That's not going to be true moving forward. Like they're gonna go as Wemby goes. I didn't love the post-game comments from Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson, who was basically like, look, he didn't advocate for elbowing Naz Reid in the face, but basically said, if the refs aren't going to protect Wemby, I'm glad Wemby took it into his own hands to protect himself. I didn't love that because I still think that Mitch Johnson is on the same learning curve that his team is on. And I don't know if that's the right mindset to have. I'm in full agreement with you. Baby steps, like crawl before you walk. They're all learning this in real time in San Antonio together. I don't know if what Mitch Johnson said and what Wemby did proves that they know who they are right here, right now.
I think they don't. I think they know who they are. I don't think they understand where they are. I don't think they understand like the thing that they're in. And I love the point you made because when he said that, my first thought was, I like have your guy say that in private. Pull him aside, put your arm around him, but it's like put your arm around him, up here, right. Hang from his neck as you tell him, "Hey, big guy, it's all good job." But you do that publicly. The other message, the thing that struck me, Tommy, pretty daddy, I'm in this reset mode because we're doing practice shows, so I keep being like, "Here on BillRedder@Substack.com," but this is a podcast. It's totally different. Turns out, totally different animal. I have a great story about my co-host, but I can't tell until we're like really, really cool. He's awesome, by the way. Doug McCain is really good. I mean, he really is. He's massively talented. The thing that I worry about with what Wemby's coach said is it also tells other teams, here's how you bait Wembanyama. If the refs don't protect him, the coach is telling him to protect himself. Well, the protection just got him out of a game. So now they're going to be attuned to this, right? You got to be. You don't want to get into Draymond Green kicking people in the nuts territory. Am I allowed to say kick him in the nuts?
You just did.
I did. I just did it. It's a podcast. That's nuts. So you're right. It's a great call. Coach has got to learn. Wemby's got to learn. And the thing about the Timberwolves is the Spurs are clearly the better basketball team. And they are built and constructed as a championship level team. And they have a secret sauce that I think can speed the process up, and that is their culture. Even though Popovich isn't there, R.C. Buford is. That organization has it reminds me of the Cardinals in baseball for a really, really, really long time. I mean, there aren't many examples of this, right, where the culture is so good that it permeates every part of the organization. The Spurs are good enough to win the whole thing. They're ahead of schedule in part because of sort of what they've constructed in Wembanyama, in part because they're the Spurs and they have a culture that's real. This is not you're not playing the Sixers. You're not playing the Lakers. This is a Timberwolves team that probably can't win an NBA championship. But I think if I made a list of people that have a non-0% chance, they would be on the list. Be the last name on the list. But they've made a conference finals. They've gone through the growing pains that the Spurs have not in the past. They beat Denver a couple years ago, made the conference finals, then lost in the conference finals. But they are a really, really good basketball team. And Anthony Edwards is capable of taking over games. I think the Spurs are going to win the series, but now we're at best of three. We're at a best of three series now. It's 2-2. And that becomes much more of a crapshoot when you're playing a team like the Timberwolves that have experience. Anthony Edwards can 1,000% win you a basketball game in the next two. He can just go out there and score 48 points, or he can go 7 of 28 and then take over the last 3 minutes of a fourth quarter. You get to a game 7, man, and all bets are off. And so part of the problem that Wembanyama has, part of the problem that his coach has, part of the issue is, and this is the learning curve, this isn't the first round. And you're not lucky enough, because you're not the Thunder, to be playing the Lakers without Luka Doncic. You're playing a really dangerous team. And it's not play with your food, but if you make these mistakes as a part of the learning curve suddenly becomes potentially being home instead of being in the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, we know what kind of alien this dude is. Like, first off, his nickname is he had a triple-double with blocks early. Like,
he's so good, man.
He's so good, and he's so and look, there's a lot of people too that I've noticed throughout these playoffs that I don't think enjoy watching Wembanyama play because, as you pointed out, he's 7'4", he's 7'5". I think the dude's incredibly fun to watch. Like his game is so unique, and like he has to know in that spot. You want to play a little more a little bit more physical, okay, you can't get kicked out of that game. And it was the right call getting kicked out. I think the refs made the right call. I think that was a flagrant 2.
Here's something that I do too. Here's something I wanted to ask you. And I might do this on the practice show today too. So none of you can listen to it, so it's not redundant. I was thinking, you were talking about Wembanyama, and you said something early on about how he's just like, he's mesmerizing. He is must-watch basketball. I can't, and I think Stu made this point, or Doug, someone that I talked to about sports made the point that he's one of the guys that, and it's true, when I'm watching the game, I'm watching him on defense. I never do that. Maybe I'm watching, it could have been you, but we haven't spoken in 3 years. He's away from the ball. I'm watching him. So I want to rank the can't look away rankings right now, because I don't think there are many athletes on this list. I'm going to give you my list in order. And then there's 2 suckers, so you may not be able to track. Tell me who I missed and who should go off. So I'm going to go Shohei 1. I was at the Lakers game the other day, and they were making fun of me. Me and my co-host and my new boss went to the Lakers game Saturday night in the Odyssey Suite. I didn't know there was an Odyssey Suite.
Whoa!
I was Odyssey for the last 9 years. There's an Odyssey Suite. It was amazing. It was super cool. And I was watching the Dodgers game, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shohei's up." Wasn't a big situation. It was the first at bat for the. He's on screen, and I am not watching a playoff. Now, in fairness, Lakers are going to lose. Shohei's 1, Wemby's 2. I've got a tie at 3. One is Lamine Yamal. Sucker! You don't know who that is, but trust me, it's real. Barcelona.
I trust
Then
you.
I've got Messi written down, but with kind of a meh, because he's getting older. And then my last one I can think of is Mahomes, but I kind of got a meh, because I don't think Mahomes is must-watch this past year for whatever reason before he got hurt, but he always has been before that. So basically, it's Wemby, Shohei, and this kid, Barcelona superstar Lamine Yamal. Am I missing anyone who's can't look away, mesmerizing, pulls you in?
I got one name for you that came to mind immediately, and it's hockey, but I think it absolutely fits that list. Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid, to your point, when you mentioned that you watch Wemby on defense, like you're not watching the ball, you're watching Wemby. I do that with Connor McDavid on the ice. He's that special. He's that talented.
Yeah.
What's actually kind of refreshing about McDavid too, he's actually not afraid to let it rip in the media now, because the last 2 seasons they have lost in the finals.
0
and they
bleeps
got
given.
bounced in the first round this year, and he said we're an average team right now. That's what happens. You get bounced when you're an average team.
You're a hockey correspondent.
Yeah, McDavid's that guy in hockey. He's that special.
I believe he plays for the Oilers. Is that right?
He does indeed.
Do you know that I had to Google that?
But I would add him to that. But I think that's it. I think that's a very unique list and should be a very short list.
Yeah, I mean and so Wembanyama, he'll play. I think he'll be out there. Probably will know that by the time this podcast drops. But it's part of the learning curve. It's a problematic one. It's a troubling one. It's also like it's the price you pay for wanting it that badly. And so I'm not mad at him, but that doesn't make it okay. You haven't had a fake break in a while. You missed the fake break? Did you miss it?
Does that make a lot of noise?
You are now muted. Tom is muted, baby. I'll just be quiet. We'll be right back in a minute after this fake break.
You're listening to the Writer Than You podcast.
It's amazing I can mute you. I should mute you all the time, just in real life, you know? Of course, you've muted me by never returning my phone calls. I got to tell you a story about my experience last night at the Hollywood Bowl. I put some photos out there. Henry's first time. The Knicks okay. The Knicks are really, really good. It also turns out the East is really, really bad. The Sixers are terrible. I don't know how the Celtics lost, but obviously there were some issues in paradise there with all the Jaylen Brown drama that's going on. So that happens, right? Like when there's sort of internal problems, teams collapse. I think that's a huge part of what you saw there. I've talked about that for years. I know that I'm disrespectful to the Pistons, and by way of apology, I'm going to just be more disrespectful. I don't think they're very good. I don't care if they they're up 2-1 against Cleveland. Cool. James Harden played well in Game 3. I told you so. James Harden being down 2-0 is right where he lives. Oh, nothing's on the line. There's no pressure. Darts. It'll be hard to know how good the Knicks really are until they play the Thunder, maybe the Spurs, right? That's kind of maybe the Timberwolves, Minnesota fans. but not really. But they certainly look dominating. 144 to 114 last night is does quick math, 30-point victory.
I mean, look, I don't want to do the lazy thing. Is it good Knicks or bad 76ers? The only thing I will point out, and I was actually thinking about this as the game was in its final minutes yesterday, this is the same Knicks team that did go 2-2 with the Hawks in the first 4 games. Like, that did happen. That was a real thing. Like, they were fully healthy. OG Anunoby was there. They were in a 2-2 series tie with the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Now, they've won 6 games since then, and they've looked very dominant in winning those 6 games, but the Knicks are a good basketball team. I guess maybe we're finding out if they're great. I'm skeptical.
I'm skeptical too. They have the numbers to say they are in terms of offensive rating, defensive rating. By the way, those of you wondering why I'm typing, if you're watching BillRider.substack.com, it's because my wife only wants to communicate with me when I'm doing the show. This is right, Tom?
I literally told my wife to leave me alone.
Yeah, I literally stop. There's a lot of and here's the thing about making an NBA Finals too. If you're good enough, if you're a championship level team, you can upset a team. And I think that's more true for the Knicks counterintuitively, even though they haven't been there in a long time, because the Garden is a thing, and it is a vibe, and it is a place, and it hasn't hosted a finals in a generation. If you have finals games at the Garden in New York City, the first year in 15 years, I can't go, by the way. It's going to, you know what? That's going to be my response to my former employer. I'm so glad I don't work there. I think that the energy of that building is enough that you can win some games. I do think it's going to be a tough place to play, even if you're the Thunder and you're historically great. So if the Knicks are even remotely close to as good as they appear to be, beating up on the bums of the Eastern Conference. By the way, I was bum of the week last week. I hope you're happy. Yeah. But you were the bum of the week before that, 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. We both
real quick. In your opinion, if you're the Knicks, would you rather play the Pistons or would you rather play the Cavs?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd rather play the Cavs because the odds that Donovan Mitchell and or James Harden are going to require, metaphorically, adult diapers in order to compete against me, I think is pretty high. And that's a mean way to say it, but they're not reliable. I looked it up. The Pistons also were 10th in offense. They're second in defense. The Pistons are capable. I don't think they're good enough, but I could be wrong. The Pistons are capable of winning some games, 99 to 96 against most teams. I'm not sure you're going to stop the Knicks offense the way that it's operating right now. And I think Jalen Brunson's a big game player. Harden and Donovan Mitchell are the opposite over sort of a longer timeline. So I prefer the Cavs, but I think you're beating either of those teams.
Okay.
I prefer them to either of those teams. I know Kevin Pritchard a little bit. Pacers GM traded for Zubac, the center from the Clippers. Sent what felt like the Pacers had a terrible record this year. I think second worst record in the NBA. They're one of the 3 teams that had the best odds to get the number 1 pick. The Wizards got that pick. It's actually a pretty deep draft. So there's not a consensus number 1 pick, and there's, sort of 2 to 4 guys depending who you're looking at. So to get a top 4 pick, you're in pretty good shape. The only way the Pacers would lose this pick is if it went to 5, and then it would go to the Clippers. That's exactly what happened. And Pritchard, who is the sort of GM, I think he has a bigger title than that, but the general manager of the Pacers had to put out an apology tweet on X to I've never seen that before. You can't fire him. I don't think you should. You made the finals a year ago. You lost Halliburton, but I texted a former GM yesterday, just what's up? Actually, just what's up? We should catch up. And his response was, I feel so bad for the Pacers. These guys don't usually feel bad for each other.
Yeah, and I'm about to be hypocritical right now. I'm about to be a hypocrite.
I love it.
I want, just like any sports fan, I want transparency from athletes, from general managers, from front office, from owners. I want, peel back the curtain. I want to see what's going on. I want to know the thought process. I don't think Kevin Pritchard should have said anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he should have kept that to himself.
Yeah,
and I read it, and I cringed. I felt bad for him. But then my immediate thought after feeling bad for him is, dude, why'd you say it? Why'd you say the quiet part out? We all know
your fans
that.
know.
We know what you said is true. We all know that.
I'm going to read it to you. Ready? This is from Kevin Pritchard, the GM of the Pacers. I'm really sorry to all our fans. I own taking this risk. Surprised it came up 5th after this year. By the way, let me just pause. It was 52%, 52.4% top 4, 40, whatever the number is, 47, 48%, whatever. It was 52% to 48. It was a coin flip. Shouldn't be that surprised. Oh, sorry, I'll continue. I thought we were due some luck. Let me just stop again. It's not how you build. Okay. I went to Vegas, baby, and put the money on black because I thought we were due some luck. Yeah, you're divorced. He continues. But please remember, this team deserves a starting center to compete with the best teams next year. We have always been resilient. So basically, like, sorry, my bad, my fault. I thought we were going to get lucky. In fact, we should have gotten lucky. But you need to remember that we deserve this. Hey, don't worry, we're resilient. That's not even a good apology.
I'm actually like 75% serious here when I ask you this question. Does Adam Silver have to step? He just admitted to tanking. We take that risk. He's saying we tanked.
No, I think he can say we took the risk on the top 4 protected, and we knew we were going to suck because Halliburton was out.
I just keep it to yourself, Kevin. Keep it to yourself.
By the way, the NBA, I thought, had a terrible regular season. It's been a pretty good playoffs.
I couldn't agree more. It's been fun, and I know the 76ers just got swept. The Lakers are probably going to get – the first round was fun. The second round has had some entertaining games. Like, I actually fully agree with you.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I am so convinced LeBron James is a problem. I do not think the Lakers should bring him back at any price. I think it is paramount that they see what obviously Doncic is injured, what Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves can be without LeBron. Not necessarily in this series, but LeBron has played so well in the playoffs without Luka. Even that has been entertaining. And I don't think the Lakers-Rockets series was that good of a watch, but LeBron is always mesmerizing, and he played so well in that series, I wanted to watch it. And the Thunder, even though they're beating the living day, they're up 3-0, the daylights out of – they've covered every – by the way, they've covered every – the Lakers have been within a point in the third quarter of, I think, every game, certainly 2 and 3. And they've still – the Thunder have covered every game, 16.5, 15.5, 9.5. Easily covered, by the way, in the case of the game – at Crypto on Saturday that I was at. This is, I'm not going to pretend it's mesmerizing, but it's an entertaining series considering the fact it's 3-0. Like I'm into it. It's been, and the other series have been awesome this round.
I agree. And back to that Lakers point. Is it a non-0% chance that they try to keep that, I don't want to say core, but
yeah, they're
Doncic, so LeBron, Reeves, and LeBron together?
People here want LeBron to stay. My new co-host wants LeBron to stay. And the betting odds, I haven't looked since Saturday going to the game, but the betting odds on Saturday were LeBron's next team was Lakers number 1, Clippers number 2. So wow. It was here, I'll pull it up. It was LeBron's next team odds. You like how I live Googled that? Paywall. Yeah, so basically the Lakers are 55 to 71%. Here, are you a Kalshi? I mean, I know people hate Kalshi, but I feel like it's the live odds are pretty interesting. Are we here for that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you know what? It's moved. It's crazy how much it changes. Now it is stays with the Lakers or retires. He's not retiring. 47%. Cleveland 35%. Golden State 12%. The Clippers down to 2%. That's crazy because the Clippers were high the other day. So it's 50-50 that he's going to be a San Antonio's made a huge jump to 20% from 1% 3 days ago.
I don't like that.
I don't like it for San Antonio. I would really, really like it for LeBron. I'm going to look at a different.
Do you think LeBron is going to make this decision about basketball or about life?
I think that's a great question. I think that he wants to live in LA. Here's the other thing. I think Bronny is so bad. My co-host, Doug, keeps telling me Bronny's can be an NBA player. Doug's such a positive, sweet guy. He's such a nice guy. But he's going to learn is I'm not that thing. If LeBron leaves, Bronny has to go, right? So you're not just moving yourself, you're moving your kid. Or you're abandoning your kid to like his career being over. I think. I mean, as soon as LeBron's out of there. So I think he wants to be a Laker. I think he wants to live in LA. it's not Jeannie Buss in charge anymore, even if she's the governor. It's the Guggenheim Group who own the Dodgers. In fact, the Dodgersification of the Lakers is going to be super interesting. And to get into the weeds here, they got rid of a guy named Tim Harris, who was Jeannie's right-hand person, and brought in Lon Rosen, who was a part of the Dodgers ownership group, but was a longtime Magic Johnson agent and the PR guy for the Lakers back in the day. That's how he met Magic, if I have my history correct. They're cutthroat in a good way. Remember Ned Colletti? This is a GM of the Dodgers 15 years ago, 10 years ago, when this group came in, and Colletti had been like, they'd won. They just hadn't won a World Series. They gave him a year or two, and then they fired him. And they're like, see ya. Don Mattingly couldn't get along. You're gone. I think that LeBron's future hinges on, in part, how quickly the Guggenheim Group just asserts themselves. If they let Pelinka have another year or whatever, okay, maybe LeBron's around because Pelinka's a star guy, right? He's Kobe's agent. If Pelinka gets fired and they bring in a GM to win, like we're going to build a winner the right way, I think you have to get rid of LeBron because I think he's bad for the culture. So I think LeBron is all about staying in LA. Family's here. He loves Los Angeles. It's his home. He's got a bunch of stuff going on. Get all that. I think if they make the choice for him that they don't want him back, then I think he'll probably decide based on, in part, on basketball. But I think Cleveland's good enough that you can pretend that they can compete if you're LeBron, right? Like if you go there, I wouldn't bet on them. But Donovan Mitchell, if they don't trade him, and James Harden and LeBron James and Mobley and that entire group, I mean, that's an interesting basketball team. Where are you on LeBron?
I thought it was going to be Cavs, especially after, during the regular season, the comments from Jeannie Buss. Like, I thought LeBron was not going to be able to get over that. Now I'm starting to think, like, maybe they can make it work basketball-wise in LA.
I don't. Or here's what I'm going to say. Have you – well, you'd have to have friends for this. I'm being mean because you don't call me back.
I'm out.
You're out. No, you have a million friends. Have you ever I have. You ever had a friend who's dating someone and she is, like, so hot, but she's the worst person in the world?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My buddy Reed once dated a girl. I'm just going to tell a story. He's on tomorrow, by the way. And we didn't really know if we liked her. And she would, like, be super nice in front of him. And then when he wasn't around, my brother and I went to Chicago to visit Reed and his girlfriend. And, like, we sat down, like, in a, like, she had a little, like, den in her little apartment in Chicago. And Reed, like, went to the bathroom. And she walked in and picked up a magazine and threw it in my face and was like, "You have the magazine on the floor." And Bob's like, "What the?" Point is, nobody would tell Reed. She cray-cray. I told her. Didn't go over great. Right? I'm the guy that'll tell people. And so we've all had friends who are dating like this beautiful hot, right? But he's not thinking with his brain, if you get what I'm saying. He's thinking with his heart, Tom. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man? He's thinking with his heart.
Sure.
Sort of. Or something. That's Lakers fans. And I think LeBron is toxic. I think he is problematic. I think behind the scenes he's bad for the chemistry and the vibe in the locker room. But if I can stretch this analogy till it breaks and then just stretch it some more, his game is beautiful. It's easy to be seduced by what he's doing. It's easy to be like, man, even at, what is he, 41? Is he 41? Even at 41, he's just like, oh my God, he's so great. Someone's got to tell the Lakers, and you apparently, you got to break up with LeBron. I know he's good looking. I know he's talented. I know he scored, whatever. I know how it makes you feel young again. He is a problem. You got to get rid of him. That's where I am. I think he's bad for Luka Doncic. The other thing is, I need to see Luka and Austin Reeves play basketball games together on a fairly big sample size without the Band-Aid. Let's say I'm wrong on LeBron, which I'm not. But let's say that the sun is dark, that water is not wet, that physics don't operate, and I'm wrong on LeBron James. Okay, let's just say that he's not going to be here in 2 years. He's a Band-Aid at best. I need to remove that because I need to assess Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic as a backcourt. Is the offensive firepower enough to make up for the lack of defense? And if it is, what do you have to plug around those guys to make the defense good enough to compete at a championship level? It doesn't work with LeBron. And LeBron's not good enough with these guys to win a title next year. They're not beating the Spurs. They're not beating the Thunder. They're not beating the Timberwolves, even if they're well constructed. And if Anthony Edwards is healthy, Van is healthy. So I think LeBron's toxic. He should go. Even if he's not, I just think it's time to see Luka and Reeves and what they got.
All right. Then to answer your question, I would want to see him on the Cavs. Go back home to Cleveland.
What about the Thunder? What about the Spurs? The Clippers. Here's the thing. I actually really want to see him on the Clippers which would be horrible, and Jordan in a Wizards jersey, and depressing, and miserable, and gross. It'd just be great content for me here in LA. Like,
I get that. I get
You
it. I
know?
don't want to see him on the Thunder or the Spurs because, to your point, I think he sucks. I think he still sucks all the oxygen out of the room, and I don't want to see that happen to SGA or Wemby.
We're gonna fake break this thing, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not sure if I'm dad of the year or idiot of the year. Or maybe it's my wife's fault, but maybe it's not. Jenny and Kevin, Lori's family. We will be right back.
You're listening to Righter Than You.
What is your favorite non-NFL city in America?
Oklahoma City seems like a cool city.
Have you been there?
I've not, no.
It's Righter Than You with Bill Ryder.
He's not even here.
He was the best part about that. He was so nervous.
He was so nervous. By the way,
Oklahoma City.
I do bust some. Do you remember? I do bust some chops from time to time.
Yeah, time to time. It's not a regular thing.
That wasn't one of those times. I was actually. That's why I was just curious. Like, what's your favorite?
That was still. I was that. That's got to be close to 10, 11 years ago, right?
Yeah, that had to have been 2018, 17.
Young, nervous Stu.
He was so nervous, wasn't he? What a sweet kid. All right, so I put these photos out yesterday. I'm gonna tell you the story. And then I want you to tell me what you think. You up for that? All right. My wife loves Saturday Night Live. She loves SNL. It's not my thing. Every Saturday that it's on, she's like, "Well, let's watch it together." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I go in the back and I watch sports. But I just don't want to do it. Henry and Lori love SNL, and I love that for them. And when they pull me in, sometimes it can be funny. And there's a comedian on Saturday Night Live named Marcelo Hernandez, who I will admit is he's hilarious. And so a few months ago, I can't remember when, we sort of became aware of, or it got announced. This Netflix is a joke. It's a big festival here. I actually have to go back and watch the Kevin Hart roast last night.
Yeah,
I heard it was good. I heard Tom Brady went too far though. But anyway, which is what a hypocrite. But anyway, I haven't seen it, so maybe he's not a hypocrite. I don't know. Marcelo Hernandez is performing at the Hollywood Bowl. We find out. Never been to the Hollywood Bowl. Henry's never been to the Hollywood Bowl. I avoid the Hollywood Bowl. It is far from my home. It is not easy to get to. It is expensive. But Henry and Lori, Henry in particular, will watch Marcelo's stand-up comedy. He has a special already on Netflix, right? Henry loves it. And it's clean. Marcelo tells a lot of jokes about his mom, like being a son. Henry's a really good son, has a great relationship with Lori. So it's a good fit. So this is 2 months ago, and I go, "Oh my God, the tickets are really expensive." And Lori's like, "Well, what's the money for?" I'm like, "I don't have a job. The money's for us not to be homeless." She's like, "I think I've told you. When your house is on fire, who cares if your car burns?" Like, "All right, let's get box seats, right? We're gonna spend this. Let's just spend another $50 each and get box seats." And I go, "You're gonna take him, right? We'll all go." She goes, "I don't want to go." I'm like, "I don't even like Saturday Night Live. You love Marcelo. That's your and Henry's thing." She's like, "I'm not going. You're taking him." Like, I don't. She goes, "It's Mother's Day." I'm like, "Oh my God, this is 2 months ago. 3. I'm like, "Oh my God, it is." She's like, "Buy the tickets." I'm like, "I don't." She's like, "Buy the tickets, take him. Mother's Day." I'm like, "Okay." So I go on StubHub, buy the tickets. Yesterday comes, I go to get my parking pass in the morning. The Hollywood Bowl is in Hollywood, Tom. That is in Hollywood. That is well north of my home. Disneyland is in Orange County, Tom. It's the other way. It's south of my home. I look at the tickets. It says Marcelo Hernandez Hollywood Bowl address Anaheim next to Disney. Somebody sent me, so I write StubHub, we'll refund it someday. I am an AI agent. You will get your money back. So last minute I gotta take an Uber. An Uber from my home in Manhattan Beach to the Hollywood Bowl is more than $2. I'm just gonna tell you that. It's not cheap. So we've never been. They say get there early. So we show up, we get there early, we take a picnic, you can take food in, it's really cool. I put out the photos, and Henry and I are really joyous. I'm in my Barcelona shirt like I am now because they won Champions League. They won La Liga yesterday. They beat El Clasico, they beat Real Madrid. So a bunch of Barca fans. Some waiter comes up and says, "Oh, I'm a Barca fan," literally ripped his shirt like Superman. I say shit. Didn't mean to. My first swearsy on accident. Dump. Oh, we don't have a dump. Rips his shirt open. It's a Barca shirt. So we're there. It's like, show starts at 7, so we get there 5:30, and then it's 6, and I'm like, all right, I'm Ubering, I'll take a bottle of wine, and the bottle of wine price comes oh dear God. So we're eating the sandwiches we took, and Henry's got the water, and do you want some lemonade? Then it's 6, there's a time, then it's 6:30, then it's 7. He's like, when's it gonna start? I don't know, man, it hasn't started yet. Then it's 7:30, then it's 7:45, then about 8 o'clock, right? Comedian comes out, And he does does his bit in Spanish, and people are laughing, but some people behind me are like, what do you say? I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish either. Neither does Henry. I wish I did. Like, oh, that's cool. Like, because Marcelo's bilingual. He's supporting Spanish-speaking artists, stand-ups. That's really cool. That guy does a 20-minute set, right? Now, I don't know what time it is, 8:30 or something. So then he leaves, and a woman comes out, and she starts speaking in Spanish. I'm like, okay, so both acts are in Spanish. That's cool. And Henry's like, I have to go to the bathroom, Daddy. So, like, the way these boxes work, you have 3 seats in the back, very comfortable seats in the front. We have to have this guy get up. He's like, oh, it's really cute because Henry. We get up, we leave. The woman's been talking for 20 minutes in Spanish. And, like, it's awkward because she's like, everyone's laughing. And I'm like, I don't know what she's saying. I'm supposed to laugh, but it's kind of funny because everyone's around me's laughing. Laughter's contagious. We go to the bathroom, right? We come back. It's been 20 minutes probably because there's a line. She's still talking. Okay. Still talking in Spanish. Okay. She ends. Marcelo Hernandez. And he dances down. Henry's like, yay. Henry's so excited. And he's like, says hello in Spanish. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, he's saying hi to Spanish. And Henry turns to me and goes, is this in Spanish? I'm like, no, man, no. And then he speaks in Spanish some more. And about 2 minutes later, I Google, Canal de Front. The show's in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. Henry doesn't speak Spanish. Poor Henry was so upset. I'm like, it's in Spanish, kid. He's like, what? I go, it's in Spanish. I'm like, do you want to leave? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. So we sit there for like 5 or 6 minutes. Marcelo Hernandez like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And like everyone's laughing. And Henry looks, I'm like, you want to go, don't you? He's like, I really do. So I have to like pack up the blanket, put it in the bag, pack up the cooler. Then I'm like, I'm really sorry. My buddy, Bruno, and his friends, we were in Spain. I just went through this. They called me the noble gringo the entire time I was there. I'm not sure if that's politically incorrect. Is that politically incorrect?
It feels like it.
That's what they called me. I didn't come up with it. So I'm like, excuse me. I'm a noble person. I have to leave with my kid. So we left. So I go home, and I'm not happy. And Lori's like, you should have known. I'm like, I should have known. You told me to buy the tickets. I should have known. I didn't even want to go to the show. But by the way, I had a great time. Like, I actually had a wonderful time hanging out with my son. Like, it was really, you don't get that. Like, we were in the Uber, we were talking, we were chilling for 2.5 to 3 hours waiting for the show we didn't speak the language of. Like, I had a great time, but also, I don't know. Is that a me fail or is that a Lori fail? You can tell me. You're out?
Man, I gotta be honest here. I'm gonna do it as nice as possible. I gotta be honest here.
Okay.
It feels like more of a Lori fail to me.
That's what I thought too.
But yesterday was Mother's Day, so
I know. Here's the thing. I was not happy, but I definitely stayed up till after midnight, so I didn't fix myself at 12:02.
That is such a Bill Ryder move.
Got you on a technicality, baby. So we went, we saw, we just did not comprehend.
I don't mean to laugh, but you can't make that up. You can't make it up.
It's an amazing venue. Does it make me a geek or not? Because I was like, while we were there before, I'm like, okay, I got to come back here. I was like, oh, John Mellencamp's going to be here in August? I'm in, baby. The Rocks and John Mellencamp. Muse is going to be there. I want to go to all the shows now.
I've never heard of that happening to someone before. That's not a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't. I actually like rage yelled at the AI StubHub bot. You didn't kill us on the drive home. Hi. And then literally it's like, I'm sorry, but unfortunately there's no refund policy. I can see that would be frustrating. Can I suggest that you sell your tickets? And I wrote, you can suggest it, but the show's going on right now. You are correct. The show is going on. There is no chance you will sell those tickets. However, that is the policy. Goodbye. Yeah, that's great. Now, whoever's in there can make all the noise they want because at least I'll understand it. I'll know what's going on.
This is true.
At least I'll know. Yeah, that was a rough one, man.
That's the first time I've heard a story of that. It doesn't happen. You know what? That doesn't happen to normal people.
Only me.
Yes.
But it kind of like he has a Netflix special that was in English.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen it.
Couldn't it have been just called like Netflix es una whatever joke? Here, well, you know what? I'm gonna do it right now because then at least I would have picked up on it, right?
But you know what? I feel like I gotta say this. because your listeners are very aware of it. You've been to Spain like 24 times.
I told Lori, she thought it was very funny. I'm like, I was in Spain for 2 weeks a week ago. I don't speak the language well. This is the most idiotic I have felt as it relates to my inability to speak Spanish over that stretch. And that is saying something.
You know what? It's time to learn the language. That's
I'm
what it
trying.
is.
Netflix as una broma. That's all I needed. Marcelo Hernandez. Netflix as una broma. Netflix as una broma. I love the Spanish language. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. At one point, before all this started, they're like, Marcelo Hernandez in 5 minutos. And I was like, what are they saying? I'm like, 5 minutes, bro. We got 5 minutes to the. That probably should have been a little bit of a clue when everything was in Spanish. They had huge Netflix things up, right? Like they were showing Netflix ads, and it was in English, but it was in Spanish subtitles.
Sure.
Like, okay, that's cool. Like, how about I just put that all down? I don't know. I mean, I'm a moron. Like, let's be fair. Largely, this is because I'm an idiot. Only me, dude.
Only Bill
Only
Renner.
me this would happen to.
This just this kind of stuff doesn't happen to anybody else.
I mean, dude, I was so frustrated.
Hey,
I
at
was
least
so mad.
At least you didn't spend that much money, right?
Bro, on the drive home, when I looked up how much the tickets cost me.
Yeah. Yep. Happy Mother's Day.
Dude, I came when she was in bed. She was chilling. She gave me a little like, you should have known better. Okay. All right. On that happy note, we're going to play Henry's music and get out of here. It's good to see you again, stranger.
Likewise, let's not make it another month.
I'm impressed, by the way, that you have read the research and gone no screen time. You don't have a phone.
You see, the way my phone works is, I got it.
You're the worst person, dude. Of all the people that are my favorite people, which you're on the list, you're the worst.
I'm going to take that for the compliment that it is.
You're the worst of my favorites. I'm muting Tom now. He's muted. Yeah. Adios.